shadowy flight into the dangerous world of a man who does not exist. Michael Knight, a young loner on a crusade to champion the cause of the innocent, the helpless, the powerless, in a world of criminals who operate above the law.
Hello and welcome to Beyond the Night, brought to you by the GCRN and Audible.com. I am one of your hosts, Steve, doing Mike, and joining me is Duyahn the Music Man.
Hello, sir. What is going on?
Oh, not much. Today we actually get to some good episodes.
Yes, we do. Hooray!
About time. Today we're going to be going beyond the night and reviewing 3 more episodes of Knight Rider Classic Season 2. Hit the turbo boost, kid.
Bringing up the rear are McNamer, Hart, and a big black car. First you write the foundation that somebody murdered Danny. Now you try and knock him out of the race yourself. Meet the 8th wonder of the world. Lee, what do you think caused the accident? A clown by the name of Kelly Travis, who was busy hot-dogging his way up the mountain.
I'm gonna have to teach you some manners.
Kid, we're slipping!
First up today is Speed Demons. Michael and Kit are put on alert when an anonymous letter warns that a killer may strike at a Foundation-sponsored motorcycle race.
Really?
Yeah.
Again?
Oh yeah, this reminds me of the fuel race from season 1, the alternative energy race. But no, this is dirt bikes this time, and I don't know. The plot had way too much going on. You know, you've got like 3 or 4 different red herrings in this, and it's just... It just ends up being... I don't know. Any thoughts on the plot?
Not really. I mean, I wrote a lot of things for scanners off.
Okay.
Because the plot, you can sit and watch. You can watch this episode, but you already are going to put this in like your 10 top worst episodes. If you have any.
I mean, I enjoyed it overall. It's not...
It's not a horrible episode, but... Yeah. It's not a horrible episode, but you're like, okay, what, when, where, why, and how.
Yeah.
So it just really kind of depends on what part of the plot you really want to come in on, and is this your favorite episode?
Yeah, that's very true. So let's turn these scanners on. I love all the racing quips that Kit has. I thought that was hilarious.
That was neat.
Yeah. I also love that this is the episode that we finally have the high traction drop downs. Mm-hmm. And my final scanners on note was Devon at the end. That was kind of funny.
Poor Devon.
Yeah, poor Devon. What'd you like about this one?
Michael helping up, one of the motorcycles, I can't remember his name. Kelly up the mountain.
Yeah.
Because Kelly, thinks that he killed his best friend. And
yeah, he lost his nerve.
And even though Kelly had to forfeit the trophy, that was kind of an interesting moment there. Actually, I also liked the scene where Kelly confronts his sister.
Yeah, that was a good scene as well.
And the other note that I had was... it's about damn time that somebody put a sister in their place when you're trying to, what was it? I wrote down, it's about time somebody puts a sister in their place when you're trying to screw with an investigation. Because of the, Michael asking why'd you do it, Sabrina? And, it leads up to that scene of Kelly confronting Sabrina. But,
Right.
I just like that whole thing of it coming together as one big scene. So I like those three things.
So let's turn these scanners off. I only wrote down one thing. I know you're gonna have a bunch of things you didn't like.
That depends.
In general, this episode is very generic. Oh, the sponsorship guy who didn't want to lose his money did it. I don't know. What didn't you like about this one?
The same thing, the sponsor guy. And then the other note that I really had, the only other note that I really had was, Sabrina trying to explain herself to Michael about, well, I wanted you to find the murder victim or, the killer, but you hadn't. It's almost like she's saying, well, you don't care about whether my brother lives or dies. And it's like, no, that's not it at all. So those were my only two things. It kind of reminds me, on the first note, it kind of reminds me about the Give Me Liberty or Give Me Death episode that we covered in season 1.
Yep.
Where it was the cable guy.
Yeah.
So that kind of reminds me of that. This particular note kind of reminded me of that.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, overall, this episode is fairly good with the action and the stunts and stuff like that, but the overall plot just kind of falls short.
Yeah.
It really, for something that was supposed to have heart and something that was supposed to have, caring for, a certain, like, this sport, it's kind of like, whatever, thing you want to go out and do and create, it was supposed to be, oh, this sport is like the most important thing in our lives, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Right.
But it just doesn't come off that way. And by the end, again, fuck you with the cliched villains.
You too.
Writers. What the hell is wrong with these writers, these cliched villains? Jesus Christ. So we are going to move on.
I must speak with you immediately alone. Do you excuse us, please? Garth Knight has escaped from prison. Escaped? Yes. How? So far, the only detail we have is that a massive truck broke through the prison walls. It's Goliath.
I'm afraid so.
But how?
Up next is the return of Goliath. Seeking revenge against Michael, old nemesis Garth Knight, also played by Hasselhoff, kidnaps Devon and April and a scientist to force a showdown between Kit and his new and improved Goliath.
This should have been the season 2 ending. Or, to end season 2.
Yeah, I can see that. It probably should have been. Let me see here. The only problem is with that...
Because we had discussed that earlier, didn't we?
Right. But the only problem with putting... I'm just kind of looking here
Sure.
and see. Goliath Returns. Yeah, I guess you could switch Goliath Returns and Big Iron. The only problem is that there is more... See, the only thing is you would have to... No, you couldn't. You couldn't switch them because if you look at the episodes from Goliath Returns to A Good Night's Work, A Mouth of the Snake, and Let It Be Me, those 4 episodes are, fairly, kind of connected overall continuity wise. Sure, Mouth of the Snake is just kind of like introducing a MacGyver type, $6 Million Man type character into Knight Rider, but the reason why I don't think Goliath Returns could be the season finale is because of Let It Be Me.
Mm-hmm.
If you switched Let It Be Me and Big Iron, I would be perfectly fine with that.
Yeah.
Because the whole point of Goliath Returns is that you finally have, an ending to the Garth Knight Goliath story. And I don't think that could have gone up against. I don't think that could have gone back to back with, say it was the season finale. So you go from Goliath Returns to season 3's Night of the Drones.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that would have been a nice transition at all.
I don't know. I guess looking at it from like you going from Big Iron to Night of the Drones, it's kind of like I don't know. I guess I kind of had a little bit of a trouble transitioning to that. You know, from ending the Garth Knight story.
Yeah.
To Night of the Drones, where Kit has to be rebuilt for the first time.
No,
I'm sorry.
Has to be rebuilt.
Yes, he did.
No, he didn't. Night of the Drones is where they used robot and drone cars to round up criminals to rob a Federal Reserve Bank. Kid, the next
Which
time
one
Kid
am I thinking of?
You're thinking of Junkyard Dog with the acid.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, no. Night of the Drones is when Bonnie first comes back, because she comes back in season 3 and all that. And we're kind of getting off topic of Goliath Returns, but the point is, I think if you switch Let It Be Me and Big Iron, I wouldn't mind Let It Be Me being the season finale, but I don't think with what follows after where Goliath Returns is in its airing and in its production, I don't think it would have fit as a
kind of a closer.
Finale. Yeah. I just don't think. And it kind of goes back to the whole thing of, Knight Rider has just generic season finales like in Big Iron, and it has really good season openers like in Night of the Drones. Mm-hmm. So, all right. Well, we kind of went off topic on that whole crap. Let's go ahead and get to the scanners. Yay!
Such passion. Is it me you love, or freedom?
Only a fool would answer that question. You have exquisite taste, Adrian. How much is this costing me?
I broke you out of prison. Don't talk to me about dollars and cents.
Goliath broke me out of prison.
And I rebuilt Goliath. Resurrected him from a burnt-out shell in the desert, just as I directed this project from the beginning. Never forget that.
All right, let's turn these scanners on for Goliath Returns. Adrian kind of reminds me of Tanya in this episode.
You too?
Yeah. A little bit.
Mm.
And of course, Garth just wants revenge. I do love how resourceful Devon, April, and Klaus are in the jail cell, though. I thought that was great.
That was neat.
Yeah. Overall, I mean, this episode is so enjoyable. There's so many good moments about it. I love how they essentially try to pull a switch with Garth and Michael, with trapping Garth in the semi.
Yeah, that didn't work.
It didn't work, of course, but it worked for a while. I thought it was kind of cool how they did that.
Yeah.
What about you? What'd you like about this one?
The one thing that I actually liked was the fact that they, you see Garth and Michael hammering out their differences again. I also liked the scene where you hear Adrian's voice through Michael's comlink.
Oh yeah, when Kit's audio editing. Yeah.
Kit's audio editing. That was neat. Guards, open the door. I'm taking Michael out of here. And Michael's kind of standing back, just waiting. And then the doors open, and then you just see David just spring out of the prison. Yeah. And then he locks the guards inside.
That was awesome.
Yeah, that was great.
And that goes back to that kind of goes back to an earlier scene where Kit said, where Michael said to Kit, start recording everything.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Which is very, very awesome. Again, I see the two plots of where Garth wants revenge and wants to kill Michael, and I also see that, Adrian's got, just wants to jump his bones. But the whole thing with Klaus, I didn't really, they were smuggling him in a submarine out of the country for what exactly?
He was supposed to be this scientist. Klaus Bergstrom.
Right.
Bergstrom was supposed to be the scientist, and they basically were trying to sell him to the highest bidder.
Okay.
And as you remember when Devon says, "What are you going to do? Sell him off to the highest bidder?" And Adrian says, "Close, except the bidding's over. Now it's just a matter of time to deliver the goods." So,
yeah,
that was that whole thing there.
that's kind of generic. I mean,
Yeah.
that's kind of a.
I
mean, the main thing here is,
though, wasn't it? Though, wasn't that kind of an '80s generic type thing?
Yeah, well, but the thing is, like, if you look at this two-parter, if you look at this 2-hour episode, the main plots here are, like I said, Adrian's, wanting of Michael Knight, and Garth's wanting to destroy him, and Devon and April and all that stuff,
Right.
and everything else. I mean, and it's just, the whole selling of a scientist is like a background
Kind
thing
of
I don't know.
But at least for one, I will say this: they didn't stay on that plot very long. About the scientist, about selling a scientist, I'll say that it was more geared towards the Michael Knight, Garth Knight, Goliath, and Kit type thing. So I have to say that at least they didn't stray away from that plot.
Yeah.
And the other thing I liked was, what are we going to do now? Pray April fixed you. You remember the scene I'm talking about, TFG, when they're flying through the air, and Mike.
Oh, the parachute.
Yeah,
scene,
the parachute scene where they're flying through the air, and what are we going to do? Pray April fixed you.
That's kind of like the same line from Goliath, where he's like, "Where are we going? Out of the desert."
Yeah.
That's kind of like the same.
It's kind of reversed in a way.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Get me Mr. Knight. Quick.
Michael, I'm picking up something quite strange.
All right, let's have a look. Bingo.
Bingo indeed. It's Goliath.
At least we know we're on the right track. How far away is he?
2.3 miles and closing fast.
Speed?
120 and accelerating. Michael, surely you're not thinking of confrontation.
I'd rather avoid one. But he's standing between us and Devon and April. All right, scan for the weak spots.
Michael, they've been repaired. Goliath is invulnerable.
So let's turn these scanners off. I really can't say anything negative about this one.
Me neither. There's not any negative points about this one.
No, I'm glad that they didn't. I'm glad that they made it more of a love triangle episode versus bringing Elizabeth back, because she was only needed for one plot, not this. And again, this is the final time we see Adrian, which I could almost. I don't know. Like we said in the plot of this episode when we got off topic about talking about the season finale, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Uh-huh.
If they had gotten rid of Big Iron and put another episode in there where Adrian came back a third time, maybe, and did something, or I don't know. But this is the final time that we see her. I don't know. I don't know. Did you have anything that you didn't like about this?
I don't really have anything I don't like about this one. I don't have any negative points about it. This is the last time we see Anne.
Yeah.
In this, I was hoping that they would have done something else with her in season 2, but I can see that, I can see in a sense where they would, kind of let let this be right now, and kind of end it with the Garth Knight, Garth Knight, Michael Knight scenario, and just say, you know what, we're not going to do anything else with this right now. Like I said before, I had read somewhere that David had said, I don't want to do this anymore because, playing two parts is very difficult. I got to do the parts for Michael Knight, and then I got to come in and do the parts for Garth.
Yeah, it was too stressful on him playing both roles.
So that's pretty much it for me, really.
You're real good, but you don't fool me. You're no killer. They didn't kill me before. They won't do it now.
We must have that car.
Get your kidnappers and meet me out front.
Take it down, turn it off, deactivate.
You heard of deactivate yourself. I'm in the storeroom and there's no way out.
You appear to be cornered.
I guess this is goodbye.
And finally up today, we have a good night's work. Michael is pursued by an international criminal who knows Michael's former identity and wants revenge. A woman who claims her talking teddy bear toy design has been stolen wants Michael to break in and recover it. Is in cahoots. Oh,
hello, Tanya Walker.
I have such continuity issues with this episode, but we'll get there. The overall plot of this, outside of Cameron wanting revenge, just sucks.
Yeah.
I'm with Kit. Let's eject that damn bear already.
Hey, no fair.
I
have a lot of continuity problems with this one.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and get to the scanners. All right, let's turn these scanners on. This might be depressing for me to point out as a good point, but Michael Long at the time of his death,
yes,
was 33. Because if you take 82
That's
minus
right.
49, he was 33. So by 84, he's 34. 85, he's 35.
86,
he's 36. So by the time Knight Rider ends, he would just be in his mid to late 30s.
Mm-hmm.
Which is good. I mean, I like that. I like that he's not...
They don't age him.
Right. Well, they age him, but they don't age him as much. Like, okay, going back to, and we kind of have to go back to Night of the Phoenix, not really in general, but because of what this episode is. Going back to Night of the Phoenix, if you look at Mr. Other actor who sounds but doesn't look like David Hasselhoff.
Yes.
That kid looks like he's in his 20s.
He does.
You know, I don't think I could have seen Michael. Michael Knight is kind of like James Bond. He should be somewhere in his early mid to late 30s to mid 40s.
Kind of early 40s or no?
Well,
kinda.
I would say from 33
like
to 45.
Yeah.
33 to 45, somewhere in there.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where he falls according to the continuity of the show. So I absolutely love that.
I do too.
Kind of gives me question of some of these young chicks he's been flirting around with, though. Some of these girls in this series don't look like they're, I don't know, some of them. Anyway.
Enough about
but
that.
That's all I had for Scanners On. Did you like anything about this one?
Scanner, I do kind of like the fact that Kit kind of makes a star out of himself and remotely activates toys. But I mean that's just kind of a comedic moment for me. Other than that, I mean, not too much for Scanners On. I think I'm sure we'll have some stuff for Scanners Off.
Oh yeah. So let's turn these scanners off. This episode is wrapped around a Toy Story, really. Okay, hold the phone. Cameron Zachary was never mentioned in Night of the Phoenix. In Night of the Phoenix, it was made to be believed that Tanya Walker was the brains behind everything. In this episode, they essentially say that he was the one that had all the dealings and, schemes going on and microchips being stolen, etc., 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 and that Tanya was his girlfriend, lover, whatever, but he was never mentioned originally at all, and I just can't stand how
we never saw him in Night of the Phoenix.
Huh?
We never saw him
exactly.
in Night of the Phoenix.
That's what I'm saying. It's like there was like by the end of the pilot 2-parter or the pilot 2-hour, the 2-hour pilot of Knight Rider,
right?
It was believed that was it. Tanya got shot. She was the brains behind everything. There was never any mention of Cameron Zachary at all. And then Devon is like, oh, Cameron Zachary, he was Tanya Walker.
He was Tanya's lover.
This, that, the other thing, everything else. I can't get
see that.
No, I just can't get behind that. And the fact that it comes down to a sword fight. Really? Come on. Oh, God. Between Gina and Mighty Mouth, they're getting on my last damn nerve.
I think Mighty Mouth was the worst out of the two.
Yeah. Turbo boosting into a 4th floor apartment, not such a great idea in the afterthoughts.
No. Yeah, one of my notes was that I wrote down was, okay, this was a bright idea. Did anyone have a lift?
That's funny. I don't know. What didn't you like about this one?
The fact that once again, the fact that Michael has to talk Gina out of shooting him.
Yeah.
I didn't like that. And the fact that Kit is told to shut down, knowing damn well that Cameron, if he got the car, Cameron wouldn't have been able to activate the car anyway because it was programmed to respond to Michael.
Well,
I don't like that because, and the reason why I don't like that is because, remember in that scene where April gives him a device to wear around his neck. If you get separated from Kit for any reason, press it. It will bring Kit to wherever you are and override his shutdown. Okay, that's fine and dandy. But, like I said, it goes back to Cameron Zachary. If Cameron were to get Kit, he could not make Kit do what he wanted because Kit was programmed to respond to Michael unless they somehow overrode the programming, and then, again, there would be another sole survivor plot.
No, I understand and I respect why you don't like it, but that's exactly why I like it, is because April specifically says only you can, pressing this will bring Kit directly to you.
Right.
Even if the bad guys had gotten a hold of that thing around his neck, it would still go directly to Michael. I don't think that they would have been able to reprogram Kit.
Somebody would have to know computers in that show or whatever.
Exactly. Yeah. I don't think that's where this one was going. This one was really going in the fact of they didn't want. I mean, of course they wanted Kit, but they didn't really. It wasn't like Soul Survivor where they directly went after Kit. It was more so Cameron wanted revenge on Michael for killing Tanya. And Michael even said back in Night of the Phoenix, Tanya, don't. He warned her not to the fucking window. So how her death is his responsibility is beyond me, because he told her not to do it.
Yeah, because you remember he says, no, Tanya, don't. And you see someone else say, the windows are. And just after that, she shoots the car.
Yeah.
And the bullet bounces back. In the show, we see the bullet bouncing back off the car and hitting her.
Yeah, exactly. So,
So she was warned. You're right. I agree with what you're saying. So it kind of, helps me kind of get a little bit of a perspective on what you're saying. I guess my thing was when I saw that scene of, okay, if Cameron did get Kit, how, even though he's programmed to respond.
Has a plan, though. Yeah, exactly. The thing was, though, Michael had a plan the entire time, because once they got captured, it was after the fact of April giving him the necklace. So Michael knew that's why he kept telling Kit, it's going to be all right, I've got a plan, etc., etc., etc. hence why he went ahead and shut him down.
Mm-hmm.
And, that's kind of what I like about it. I see why you kind of don't like it because it could make for other really weird stuff going on.
I think that was why. It was because some of the plot did not make sense. And I think that's why I didn't like it, was because, okay, you have one part and that's good. You got this plot here that makes perfect sense. But then you got this other part of the plot that says, whoa, why are we way out in left field here?
Yeah. Anything else you didn't like about the episode?
Did you really have to center it around toys? Oh, yes. Lasers? We need lasers to make a handgun? Or, I'm sorry, not lasers, crystals.
Yeah, we need crystals to make a laser handgun.
We need crystals to make a handgun. Not to mention the fact that, and my third note was, Gina, did you know you were going to get betrayed by Cameron at any time soon?
Yeah, I don't know. All right, so let's head to a commercial break, and we'll come back to close the show after that.
Kid?
Yes?
Shut up.
Hey, Chuck. Hey, what's up, Ryan? You know how we talked about doing a podcast? Well, I have some ideas run past you.
Yeah, what do you got?
I thought we should base it on comics.
Well, there's thousands of podcasts about comics. You kind of want to narrow it down a bit.
Well, what about Star Wars?
Still, there's a ton of those out there. What else you got?
We could always do G.I. Joe comics.
There's still a ton of those out there.
What about the 80s franchises?
There's already a few of those as well.
Then let's forget about comics. Let's focus on toys and action figures.
Dude, then we're back to thousands of podcasts.
Well, is anyone covering all those things I mentioned in one podcast?
No one would be crazy enough to do that.
Then that's what we'll do.
You serious?
Yep. Come and listen to Star Joe's podcast. You can find us at starjoes.com or find us on iTunes.
Yeah, we cover comics, TV shows, and movies based on Star Wars, G.I. Joe, and all your 80s favorite franchises.
And don't forget about the toys.
How could we forget about the toys? We also do toy reviews to help you decide what to add to your collection.
So come listen to Star Joe's, where we hold nothing back, provide quality entertainment, and remember, the Force will be with you.
Because knowing us is half the battle.
Yo, Joe!
Hey, I'm Gary.
I'm Mike.
I'm Chuck.
And I'm Justin.
Join the four of us every week on the internet's #1 and longest-running G.I. Joe podcast, What's on Joe Mind?
It's Joe news, reviews, and interviews like you've never heard them before, delivered right to your MP3 player.
Our guests include Jason Marsden, Kevin Michael Richardson, and Matt Yang King from G.I. Joe Renegades, Larry Hama, Robert Atkins, and John Barber from IDW Publishing, and many more from around the online Joe community.
Yeah, it's guys talking about Joe. Think of it as Joe Talk meets sports talk. And we make fun of Chuck. Right, and we... Hey, again?
Come on, Chuck. We're just kidding. Kinda.
Sometimes Chuck makes fun of himself.
Right, and we... Okay, seriously, this is just getting ridiculous now. It's What's on Joe Mind, every week on the Geekcast Radio Network, InsidePulse.com, Stitcher Smart Radio, and iTunes. Download and listen today. I suppose I still can't say something about Transformers, can I?
Good.
No. What about sports?
That sounds good.
Yeah, that's all right.
You can now hear the Geekcast Radio Network while on the go with Stitcher Smart Radio. Stitcher is a free use and talk mobile app available for your smartphone. And when you download Stitcher to hear Geekcast Radio, you'll have a chance to win money. Downloading is quick and easy. Just find Stitcher in the App Store. During registration, hit the promo code box and enter Geekcast Radio, all one word, to get automatically entered to win $100. The latest episodes of the shows will be waiting for you in your favorites. You'll get access to lots of other amazing shows too. Always available to you on demand, no syncing. It's Stitcher Smart Radio. Don't forget to enter promo code Geekcast Radio when you register.
Kid?
Yes, Michael.
Just keep driving.
For you listeners of Beyond the Night, Audible is offering a free audiobook download with a free 30-day trial to give you the opportunity to check out their service. Use audibletrial.com/geekcastradio. All right, let's go ahead and rank these ones. Speed Demons for me, I give it a 2. It was all right. I kind of liked it, but it was just, I don't know, it was just a generic one. Goliath gets a 5. Goliath Returns gets a 5. What about you on Speed Demons?
Speed Demons gets a 1. Goliath Returns gets a 5.
All right. And Good Night's Work, what do you give it?
I have to give it a 2.
I'm right there. Yeah.
I'm sorry. I have to give it a 2 just because, again, it's like a 2-plot story.
It's not even the fact that it's a 2-plot story. It's one whole plot because Gina is actually working for Zachary. But
yeah, but you don't need to center part of it around toys and then part of it around getting revenge against Michael Knight. No, right, I'm sorry. Yeah. It's a 3-plot if you think about it. 1, the toy thing. 2, the revenge thing. And then 3, you're going to get crystals for a laser handgun.
Yeah.
No.
Too much plot.
Too much.
I'm going to give it a 1 because of the fact that it essentially nearly ruins some of the KR continuity.
I would have to maybe reduce mine to a 1 then.
Yeah. It just doesn't. That shit didn't happen. This episode doesn't exist. So, why don't you tell people about your other love?
Other love is broadcasting, folks, and if you would like to hear some great music, old school, country, as well as other genres and varieties, you guys can head on over to www.sky106.net and look at the schedule, as well as if you think you have what it takes to become a DJ on our station, you can fill out the application page. You can also follow us on Twitter and add us to MSN. And you can also follow me on Twitter, themusicman08. If you have any KR questions, get them to me and let me know how you got my Twitter name. And also you guys can check out the blog, as the blog is now a clickable link and things of that nature. So I want to thank TFG1 Mike for putting all that together. But, it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun when you hear the broadcasts on sky106.net. It's a lot of fun. So if you guys want to hear a lot of variety and things, head on over there.
All right. Thank you for joining us here on Beyond the Night. There are several ways to get in contact with us or leave feedback for the show. Visit the website, geekcastradio.com, where you can comment on each and every episode post. Leave us email, feedback@geekcastradio.com. Follow us on Twitter. Beyond the Night is the show Twitter. Mine is TFG1 Mike. You can also follow @GeekCastRadio for all the other network updates. Become a fan on Facebook. Go to facebook.com/GeekCastRadioNetwork. Call the voicemail line and tell us the show you're leaving the message for and your name. 502-526-5821. We hope you enjoyed this episode of Beyond the Night and wish you'll join us next time when we're reviewing the final 3 episodes from Knight Rider Classic Season 2, those being Mouth of the Snake, Let It Be Me, and Big Iron. For now, I am TFG1 Mike with
Beyond the Music Man 08.
Kit, close the show.
And he won't be late, Christina. I'll see to it.
Thanks, Kit.
Come on, Kit. You're making me look bad. What do you know about restaurants anyway?
You'd be surprised.
I sure hope that's the last we see of Garth and Goliath.
So do I, Michael.
What's that?
I recorded it as a souvenir.
Oh, that's very funny. Yes, that's very funny. As a matter of fact, I think I have a little surprise for you, too.
Please, no clips. Do you hear me? Michael, I'm serious.
Michael Knight, a lone crusader in a dangerous world, the world of the Knight Rider.